Welcome to the Living Ageless and Bold podcast. Each episode, I bring you amazing women who inspire, educate, and share their experiences and journeys along the way. So grab a glass of wine or a cup of coffee, find a cozy spot, and let's relax and have some fun hearing what can be accomplished after 55. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Living Ageless and Bold. If you woke up today and you are thinking, I'm having a really crappy day, my guest today, Shannon Michelle, is going to turn that around for you. Shannon was one of LA's most celebrated interior designers. She's a single mom, has a beautiful daughter. She went out one weekend, beautiful weekend, riding her motorcycle, something she loved to do. We'll talk about that, and was hit by a car and teetered between life and death for quite some time. And while she was recovering, was diagnosed with breast cancer. And she is now, sharing her story and inspiring others. And she is the author of Step Into Your Miracle, which she certainly did. So I'm really excited to have her share her story with us today. So welcome, Shannon.
Thank you. Thank you. Those were beautiful words to hear.
Yeah. Wow. When I was doing my research, it just makes you realize that life can change on a dime. I mean, it can just
in a moment
change.
Yeah.
So do you have any memories prior to the accident?
I do now. I mean, when I woke and they kept me in a coma for a few months because my brain's falling and the impact, I was deleted, basically, if you can kind of imagine that. Like everything was, and then I would not realize I was deleted. I would wake up, which I thought I was waking up in a new space, in a new room. And I'm like, where am I? I kept saying, where am I? And I was in a hospital. And, and then I got used to hearing something enough times where I'm like, okay, I've got to remember this. And then it led to realizing that I couldn't remember anything. Like, couldn't remember my life, but also couldn't remember, did I eat dinner? Did I anything? So it was in layers of, realization in a moment that kept repeating itself.
Did you know you were a mom? Could you remember your daughter?
Yes. So I'm not sure how much time, but I would say my daughter, and from what people have told me, because this is stuff I don't really recall, is that I remembered my daughter, and then I remembered my partner who I had my daughter with, but we weren't together any longer. So those two people were like clearest at the beginning, and then just slowly it was relearning, and like I could sense that I knew somebody, but I couldn't remember their name. I couldn't remember. They looked familiar. I could feel them, and I'd be like, oh, like they would touch my hand. I almost from that sense, I could be like, oh, I remember you. I like you. It was wild. Wow.
So what was your life like before the accident? I mean, you were very well known, very successful interior designer.
Yeah, very, very well known. Did my job very well, and had my own company for 25, almost 30 years. Started out in the antique business and then at furniture stores. And then that came to layering interior design. And then, the COVID thing changed a lot of our lives, and brought my business, up to my guest house and working from home, but I still kept busy, and, I was really good at what I did, and people were really pleased with my work. So I did very high-end interior design, help people build homes, you name it, layers, not just furniture, but multiple layers.
Are you able to still do that?
Instinctually and visually, yes. I still have short-term memory limitations. So for me, I have not gotten back into that business, even though people ask and friends ask, and people are, happy to try to support me within my new environment, the new me, I call it. But no, I'm not doing that as a job anymore. I've been, focused on my personal recovery, because I was broken and some stuff is more obvious than others, but literally I was broken into everything on my body was broken, and hips, new parts, you name it. And so it's taken a slow and steady pace to get better and more physical and more mentally capable. And so now I've been focusing on, I'm now an author, which is seems a little strange to come out of my mouth, but it's true. I had a lot to say, and I said it.
I was going to say you had a very important journey. I say we never know the bigger plan, but there was a reason that you survived the accident. There's a reason that you wrote this book.
Absolutely.
There's people you're supposed to touch, and I truly believe that.
I feel it. I know that I found my way back. And to help others with whatever trauma they have and they're going through, I feel like there are these baby steps to like finding ourselves again, even though mine was like a complete reboot. But for all of us, we go through different things where we feel like our lives have changed, or what do I do next? And I found my way out of that. And I have so much to share about, like, I think how I can share that with others.
Do you remember the day of the accident at all?
Thankfully, no.
Okay.
And I don't, that's a memory I hope to never get back. There's a chunk of a good year before my accident and probably a year plus after my accident that's still pretty much deleted from my brain. And I personally, I don't ever want to know physically or remember it, because I've read it. It was, in layers and layers, I've learned about my accident. I do not want to have that fear and that memory to be so clear in my mind, even though it's very clear to me, because I read the notes and I was in a position where I was surrounded by so much white light, angels, you name it, whatever words speak to you. It was all, I was surrounded by such grace and goodness and God, and there's so much that I was surrounded by that I literally, like EMT on the beach when I had my accident, that ran up and put me in a position and said, she's going to die if you don't put her in a helicopter, get her to UCLA. I mean, moments that I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for all of this. So
I just got goosebumps. Well, that's why you're here. I said, there's a reason for that. Do you ever look at your phone and scroll through and say, who is that? What is that? Like, is it?
I'm getting to a point where it's less, but it was how I rebuilt my brain, let's say, because I would look through images, because I was such an image person, being a designer, that I couldn't remember much by looking at, or I had to learn to read again. I had to learn what my phone was. I ran my own, company for pretty much my whole life. And all of that was deleted. And when you can't understand what a cell phone is, or how to use a computer, or, how to read, I mean, you don't realize what can be taken away and how much you do have until it's deleted. And so go back to the question. Sorry, I got a little lost.
Oh, no, you're good. You're answering them. And now I want you to tell me about your daughter, because how old was she when I saw some pictures? She looked like maybe a teenager.
She had just started college, and she was already in a huge change, which I think I saw a little video of you. You have been through that transition of your children going to college.
Yes.
And so she had just started, and it was difficult, and she was already transitioning through so much in her life. She was about, 5 months in. And then her father got the phone call, and he drove up and picked her up, because it's a few hour drive from where we live, and drove her back, and they sat and basically didn't know what they were going to get back, because they were told, we don't know, she's going to live or die. Then it got to, okay, she's going to live, but when she comes back, we don't know if she'll ever be able to walk, talk, self-care, anything. So they went through a big transition on their own. on what they were going to get back. And then so she came down for quite a few weeks, and then stayed by my bedside at the hospital, from what I was told.
Yeah.
And then, then her dad was like, you need to get her back in college. I mean, you need to get back in college. Your mom would not want this. Your mom would not want you sitting here. We don't know. He got her back into school, and she, now she just graduated in June, and she's
congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very, very proud.
Yes.
She's a science major, and she's a female firefighter to be, and she's ready to kind of take on the world in a whole new way too, because everything that she's been through has transformed her as well. Because as a mother, you're a caretaker, and you do, and then that was deleted from her for quite a while, and she had to learn to do her own self-care, and now we're learning how to kind of gravitate back into, I'm the mom and you're the daughter, because she flipped positions for a good almost 2 years, where she had to take a lot of responsibility at a very young age.
Wow. Did she always want to be a firefighter, or was that as a result of your accident?
No, she always wanted to be, at least when she started college. She first wanted to be a nurse, and then she was like, maybe I'm not going to be a nurse. And then so by the time she started college, that was her goal, and that's why she ended up at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, which was known for for that, and and so she knew, and now it even, obviously it's like, because firefighter saved her mom's life,
right?
How do you balance that out? I wonder, because as I say that, I'm like, and she's grateful in a whole new way for that world, and now she's going to be a part of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about your recovery, because there are people that, their loved ones are in accidents, they're in accidents, and yours was a long recovery, but I love seeing you, because I'm like, yay, look, they told your family you might not have X, Y, and Z, and look at you. I mean, it's amazing.
I know. I surprise people, because people are always like, oh, okay. You are conscious and aware and smart, but my limitation still is my short-term memory. So I will remember some of this, but I will need to go back and look at it 300 times to remember, it in the long term. That's how I learn to soak it in, is I have to look at something or learn something multiple times to even be able to do it. In my recovery, I would say that there's so many layers, as you described at the beginning. So in my brain recovery, which is so important that we don't realize how much we have again up there, is the patience and the kindness to be okay with things being different. And I had to learn that I wasn't the same person, and it was okay. And she is amazing, this new Shannon Michelle. And but it's hard when you take so much and you have so much, and then it changes, how to see yourself again. How do you see yourself new? How do you see yourself interesting? How do you see yourself sexy? How do you see yourself, as a part of community, all of it? Like I've had to relearn that I'm important again. And I am, and we are. I mean, I just think we all go, especially again, we can go through life in a way that we think that everything will stay the same, and it doesn't. It changes, and be grateful for that. I am so grateful. I can sit here today telling you how grateful I am that I was broken. I'm grateful that once I was broken, I got breast cancer. Like, I needed to realize that just because this happened doesn't mean more can't. And that's, to me, what the breast cancer was about for me. It's like,
let's talk about that. Was that because you were in the hospital? How in the world did they discover that?
So when they discovered it, it was a year after my accident. I think I'd have to look at the dates exactly, but I thought I was like, great. I was able to walk again and da-da-da. And they called and said, oh, your age and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, can we hold it off? I've got more surgeries, because I had a lot of surgeries post being out of the hospital to fix things.
Sure.
And they're like, no, this, for your age, I'm 56 now. And for your age, we need to do, sometimes I lose words too. So bear with me.
A mammogram.
Mammogram. Thank you. See?
Yeah. That's okay. I am here to help.
It's like you go through certain things, and this is the new me. It's okay that I can't remember how I found out that I did. So mammogram. And then they're like, oh, nope. I'm like, no, I don't have cancer. Like, I didn't take it serious. And then they're like, by the way, you do. And literally I was like, no.
I mean, it must have just been pull the rug out from under you. Like, are you kidding me? I just went through this for the last year, and now you're going to pile this on top of it.
That's what I think it, again, I went back to the point where I thought I'd been through enough that this is nothing. Cancer's nothing. And my daughter was like,
well, that says a lot about what you went through.
Yes.
If that doesn't summarize it, for you to look at me right now and say, oh, cancer's nothing compared to what I just went through.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's where I was at. But I had to learn that wasn't okay too, because my daughter was like, no, Mom, you have cancer. I'm like, I know. And I went through I went through having to make the decisions, went through a surgery. They pulled me back out and like, yeah, it's worse than what we thought. We've got to do more stuff. I mean, it was layers, 2 surgeries, going back and forth on whether it be chemo or radiation. And then finally, with other tests, they decided radiation instead of chemo, which I'm grateful for as well. But like, to be on the border of all of that it blows your mind.
And you don't have to answer this, but
I answer everything, by the way. I said, I answer everything. I'm an open book.
Did you have a mastectomy?
I didn't. So they had to go in, and I had a decision, because when they did the original, they said stage 1, fine, either, take it out or go through, the chemo thing. And then it was like, no, 1 surgery. I've got other Mrs. Me. I've got other surgeries I need to do. I had 1 more wrist surgery. I had 1 more eye surgery, because they've, done their best to try to pull it back in the position it started in. So that I went in, and so, no, I still have my natural breasts, and I'm just grateful to be alive. And so to me, I didn't really care about whether they're here or not.
I was just thinking 1 more massive surgery on top of everything that you had.
I did. And then I had to have 2 surgeries, and it wasn't a mastectomy, but it was basically, I had small implants done once I'd gone through breastfeeding and all of that. And years later, I always had a nice set, and wanted a little lift, but I didn't want much. So they put in these small, they put in
implants
small,
the silicone,
And that's what the issue was, that's not what caused the cancer, but the issue was they went in, did the surgery, opened up, saw a lot more cancer, and also saw that one was connected to it. And then they couldn't take it out without asking. So they had to close me back up, and then do a second surgery where they took out both implants, the rest of the cancer, and then go.
You think they would have thought of that ahead of time? Like, if we find this, are you okay? I've had surgeries like that. Like, we're going to try this, but worst case, it's going to be this. And are you okay?
That's a good point. That's a good point. I'm not sure, but that didn't happen.
Just call me Dr. Daves. I practice quite often.
Like it. Yeah. I'll call you next time for the right answer. But I'm on the other end. Like, I went through the 2 surgeries. I went through 6 weeks of radiation daily. And the two checks, they do a check right after, and then they did a check 6 months later, and then a check a year later. And for right now, I'm clear. So that's the good news, is I'm clear, but I also have no no concept that it can't still be a part of me. Like, I know that cancer is cancer. And if you don't do your self-care and you just, don't realize that you've been knocked on the head a little bit, hello, wake up, it can still happen. And so for me, I stay with, I am now cancer free. And that's, I'm proud of that. That's today. And I'd say that that's the biggest goal I got from all of this, which I realized is I could only stay present. I could only work on this moment right now with you today, with me this morning with my coffee, and not worry about what I can remember, not worry about what's going to happen, but just stay present. And a lot of us have a lot of difficulties in staying present because we think
so that's a lesson everyone can learn from this.
Yes.
Not having had an accident, not anything, but
yes.
being in the moment and appreciating your coffee this morning.
Yes. Yeah. It's important. My dog, my coffee, whatever the moments are, and having such gratitude for each of those moments, not what am I doing later today? No. It's just like last night was looking at my phone, looking at what I have tomorrow. Okay. And then woke up this morning, got so excited that I was going to be doing this with you. And I live in each of these moments in a grateful way. And we don't always wake up in a good mood. I don't always wake up comfortable and I still have slight pain. Like, it's not like it all went away or it's all going to ever go away, but I really have learned how to deal with the positive and the negative of everything, where I lived my life previously only paying attention to the positive and trying to not take responsibility for anything negative in a way, and thinking that would make my life better. And that doesn't work. You've got to be good with both.
Right. Yeah. Tell me, you said there's a new Shannon Michelle in the block. Yes. Tell me what your favorite thing about her is. What's something that you didn't do before, you weren't before, but you are now?
I would say that I make me first, and I do my self-care, and I never did that first. Everybody else was more important. Everybody else got more attention. And I love that I come first now, and then I move forward. And because I come first, as one of my therapists once said to me, the more you have, the more you give. And that's how I think about me staying present, is filling my cup. And then I've got so much to share. And so I'd say is the biggest gift that I was given out of all of this, is just my self-care and staying present is my life. Yeah.
And I talk a lot about empty nest. I've got a TikTok, for women over 50. And that's one of the things I'm constantly saying is you now get to put you first. Yes. And do it. It's not selfish. Don't worry about it. We should have done it a long time ago, but You're right. I mean, you're a single mom of a daughter, you have an incredible career. Yeah. Of course, everything's going to go first. And you had to have this happen.
I needed to realize it. Literally broken in two.
Yes. I don't recommend that for everybody listening and watching.
I don't either.
We can learn from you.
That sometimes it's like we just get surrounded by and get connected to things so we can learn. And that's, again, who I hope to be for others, is you don't have to be broken that physically, that traumatically to reboot. Like, reboot each day, every day as the new you. And that works. So yes, I would say that there's also there's a balance too with a lot happened to me. A lot needed to happen to me for me to truly be broken open, but it's equal to anybody else's trauma. Everybody has trauma, whatever version of it you want to say, but try not to compare your trauma as being bigger or worse than others. Just know that we all of us deal with trauma.
We all have stuff and life.
Life, yeah. I mean, we're human bodies, we are breakable, but we're moldable, and learning and we're
We're
creative.
fixable.
Huh?
I said, we're fixable.
Oh, very fixable.
Yeah.
Very fixable. Yeah. How about you? Are there times that you go through and you have to do that wake up call for yourself, each morning?
Absolutely. We went through, and I don't know how much my podcast you follow, but my husband was diagnosed with cancer this year, and it was an accidental diagnosis. Thank God it saved his life.
Okay.
He's now cancer free. So we're good. Like you. Yay. Yep. We just had a scan.
Okay.
But it
That's
has
a great feeling.
It is. And it has just put life in completely different perspective of exactly what you said. The gratitude I have, the time I spend with the people that I love, just a new appreciation of every single day, because it literally can change. We had the best night. We'd gone to a hockey game. We're big Capitals fans. We watched Alex Ovechkin tie the record. There's a big date night, and all of a sudden he didn't feel well. And next thing we knew, it was appendicitis. There was a huge tumor on his kidney. It just was, it was just a spiral of, appreciating every day. Again, a trauma can lead to that. Yeah. But as we're wrapping up, and I don't want to not talk about your book. So please share your book, share what's in it. I know it's so inspirational.
Well, I have it here. The other thing is my daughter drew me on the cover. So my daughter drew this picture, which I'm so proud of.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, my daughter's a part of this. Step into your miracle. And that is because, again, we all are capable of taking baby steps and finding our way and bringing our miracles to surround us. And this book is about sharing how you get better for yourself into whatever format that you're trying to, whether you are finding yourself within your parenting, your relationships, your guidance, your spiritual guidance, whatever format your life is taking you, there's ways to find the goodness in it, no matter how difficult it is. And that's what this book is about. And it has a lot of steps as to how I was able to, so that people can not just read it and appreciate who I am and what I've been through, but also things that I think they could take and help themselves with. And that's the goal, is that people get it to help themselves for whatever trauma they go through on a personal level. Yeah.
And I mean, hearing your whole story, you are so inspiring. Like I said, just doing my research yesterday, and I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, it's a beautiful day. I woke up, it's beautiful. Yeah. So having gone through all of this, if you could tell 46-year-old Shannon Michelle a piece of advice, you're in the heyday of your career, everything's great, what would you tell her?
Stay present. I would just tell her not to work so hard on fixing others and stay present. That would be the big goal.
And where do you see you now? Where do you see your life, your career? You wrote a book. You said you never believed you could write a book. And having written a book with short-term memory loss and going through all this, I'm truly astounded and amazed. And that's huge.
And I think that will show you a lot too about how much strength we have within us that we don't realize we have. And what we're capable when we question how good we're going to be at something. Go ahead and do it. If it's speaking to you, do it. And
it's a great piece of advice. Yeah. Great. Don't hold back, because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring.
You don't.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself in just a few years? Do you have is this your new path? Do you want to speak? Do you want to write more books?
Oh, I want to speak beyond speak. I want to share my story with as many people as I can. I can't wait to be on television and kind of get the word spread, because, I come from a really strong background, but it's not within this field. And I want people to benefit and gain from what has worked for me. And so I want to speak. I want people to buy my book. And I want to, at some point, I'm hoping to somehow engage in the way that I'm doing with you right now, because I feel like I have a lot that I can speak with others about when they're going through things. And so, you're an inspiration right now, podcast world. I'm not sure yet, but I know that next steps are speaking and connecting my book with others and helping as many as I can and connect to as many as I can. Yeah.
I'll tell you, the podcast was kind of an accidental. I got mad at something that happened and I just started it. Yeah. And it's almost, I think 2.5 years. I've never missed a week. I love it. And I just envision you having a podcast, bringing other people like you on, bringing professionals on, you could help so many people. Thank you. I wish you the best of luck with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Where can people learn more about you and learn about your book?
I have an amazing website for, it's called stepinyourmiracle.com. And basically, that is an easy way to kind of get a link to get my book and also read a little bit about me and about the wonderful people who have surrounded me and supported me through all of this. It's a website, takes a minute. I have an old business. Inner Living was my design business. Step Into Your Miracle. So stepinyourmiracle.com. Come buy my book. Come look at me speak. I don't know. Next steps are going to show their way.
And we'll have all of this in the show notes, and everybody listening and watching, everybody needs to hear Shannon's story. Like I said, if you think you're having a bad day, listen to this episode, share it with somebody else. I mean, you are so happy. You are so joyful. You just truly are an inspiration. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. I really appreciate it.
It was lovely. It was lovely getting to know you and connecting with you. So thank you for your time and your energy as well. I really appreciate it. It's been fun. I've been excited and this has been great.
Good. Well, best of luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening or for watching this episode of Living Ageless and Bold. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit subscribe. And if you like the episode, I hope that you will give us a great review. You can also head over to livingagelessandbold.com and sign up for information, inspiration, and exclusive opportunities for us, women over 55. Thanks for listening. And remember, no matter what you do, keep living ageless and bold.